morning. Here is the news at 10. First, the highlights. Lagos State government completes rehabilitation of Odoyalaro Bridge ahead of schedule, declares zero tolerance for infrastructure abuse. President Tinubu announces creation of disaster relief fund for flood victims. On the foreign scene, thousands of firefighters battle raging wildfires across Portugal. And in sports, Super Eagles defender Olu Aino makes English Premier League Team of the Week. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. The Lagos State government has completed and reopened the Ojota and Maryland sections of the Odoyalaro Bridge, which will allow motorists to use both sides of the bridge. Speaking during the official reopening of the bridge to motorists, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu reaffirmed the readiness of the bridge for public use. He said his administration focused on road and bridge infrastructure to reduce travel time, save man-hours, boost interconnectivity, provide better riding surface, eliminate traffic gridlocks, and generally make life more meaningful to commuters in Lagos State. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who was represented by the Deputy Governor, Obafemi Hamzat, said when partial failures were noticed on some structural members and expansion joints of some bridges within the state, and considering the attendant safety issues and traffic disruption generated, the state government responded by embarking upon continuous reinstatement and maintenance works on all the bridges across the state. He noted that willful abuse and pilfering of road infrastructure furniture has reenacted the need for zero tolerance for the recurrent spate of misuse of roads and bridges across the state. Commissioner for Transportation, Oluwaseun Oshiemi, expressed deep appreciation to road users for their patience and cooperation during the closure, stressing that their willingness to navigate alternative routes despite the challenges played a key role in ensuring the swift progress recorded on the project. The Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education says the increase in boarding fees in the state model colleges has not been an easy decision to make, as it is aware a few parents have shown some concern about the inevitable. The ministry, in a release, reassured all parents that the welfare of their children remain a top priority, noting that the Lagos State government continues to provide free education in 1,021 primary schools, 369 junior secondary and 329 senior secondary schools, which include the 32 model colleges across the state, which are boarding schools except Vetland Junior and Senior Secondary Schools. The statement also explains that enrollment of a child into a boarding school is an individual choice of every parent, and as such, they are expected to pay boarding fees at the beginning of every school term. It noted that the boarding fees is used basically for feeding, janitorial, and other cost-related miscellaneous to keep the students in the hostels per term. The ministry calls for full cooperation of all stakeholders, urging parents to show understanding for the sake of the children. About 65 million phone lines are at risk of disconnection after telecom operators refuse to grant subscribers an extension to the National Identification Number and Subscriber Identity Module Linkage deadline. The final deadline expired on September 14, and the telecom regulator, Nigeria Communications Commission, NCC, expected that no SIM card would remain active without a verified NIN from September 15. Analysis suggests that approximately 65 million lines remain at risk, as an estimated 1 million lines could not have been linked between the NCC's deadline announcement and the actual cutoff date. The telecom regulator's data from March shows there were 219 million active lines across major networks, with 153 million linked to NIN. Now to the rest of the stories. President Bola Tinubu has announced a disaster relief fund in Maiduguri, Borno State, to assist Nigerian citizens impacted by flood and other disaster. President Tinubu announced that announced this at the Borno Government House when he visited the state to sympathize with the government and the people over the recent flooding from Alam Dam. He said the relief fund is already expedient as the climate becomes more unpredictable and many places in the country are vulnerable to its vagaries. The Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, who made this known in a statement, said Tinubu urged the private sector to contribute to the fund. He added that Senate President Godswill Akpabio, who accompanied the President on the visit, said the National Assembly will collaborate with the Executive to establish the fund. The Executive Secretary of Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NETI, Oji Obunnaya Oji, has urged the citizens and civil society organizations, particularly those involved in revenue and expenditure monitoring, to show interest and strengthen their capacity in budget tracking and monitoring of allocations and disbursements to all tiers of government. He spoke at the backdrop of the steady rise in the size of revenue coming to the various tiers of government, especially the state and local government, which the citizens and stakeholders hardly monitor. Later reported that the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee, FAAC, disbursed over 3 trillion naira to the 3 tiers of government in the second quarter of 2024, reflecting an increase of 46.77 billion naira over the first quarter of 2024. Oji said the quarterly review aims to highlight the sources of funds into the Federation account and the factors affecting the growth or decline in revenues and distributions over time. Government administrators at the grassroots have been charged to deploy mechanisms which will not only bring governors closer to the people, but also channel the development of infrastructure, economy, and human capital at the grassroots. Member House of Representatives, Ikorodu constituency, Babajimi Benson, made the call at the inauguration of the newly constructed Asiwaju Olorunfunmi Basharun Legislative and Administrative Building Project in Igbububaiku Local Council Development Area in Ikorodu area of Lagos State. Benson, who commended the leadership of the LCDA for being alive to its responsibilities in infrastructural development, urged local administrators to brace up for more work with the approval of the local government autonomy. In their goodwill messages, Chairman All Progressives Congress in Lagos State, Cornelius Ojalabi, and Deputy Speaker, Lagos State House of Assembly, Mojisola Lasbat Miranda, commended the leadership of the LCDA for demonstrating the ideals of the progressives in Lagos and Nigeria, which are hinged on delivery of the dividends of democracy to the people. Earlier in his welcome address, Executive Chairman of Igbububaiku LCDA, Olushe Sondaini, described the inauguration of the edifice as a testament to his administration's commitment to creating a conducive environment for effective governance and service delivery. The newly inaugurated Asiwaju Olorunfunmi Basharun Legislative and Administrative Building boasts of a clerk office, 54-seater chamber, 5 councillors' office spaces for 3 heads of departments, 30 workstations, 15 modern toilet facilities, among others. And now to foreign news. More than 5,000 firefighters have been tackling wildfires that Portugal's Prime Minister, Luís Montenegro, has said are raging across the country. Temperatures in Portugal exceeded 30 degrees Celsius over the weekend and are expected to remain elevated for days. At least 2 people have died due to the fires. Portuguese authorities say there is the highest possible risk of wildfires breaking out across many central and northern regions of the country through to Wednesday, with the threat remaining very high until Friday. In our sport, Nottingham Forest's Ola Aino has been named in the Premier League Team of the Week following his stellar performance in his team's shocking 1-0 victory over Liverpool at Anfield. The Nigerian defender figured prominently in Forest's resolute defending, helping his side secure their first league win at the Merseyside ground in 55 years. The former Chelsea youth product played the full 90 minutes and was instrumental in neutralising Liverpool's attack. His most crucial contribution came when he cleared a goal-bound effort off the line, denying Diaz in the first half. And then in some years at 10, just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch your news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration constructed watchtowers with alarm bells and perimeter fences in model colleges? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Government has completed and reopened the Ojota and Maryland sections of the Odoyalaro Bridge, which will allow motorists to use both sides of the bridge. President Bola Tinubu has a disaster relief fund in Maiduguri, Borno State, to assist Nigerian citizens impacted by floods and other disasters. We also told you that more than 5,000 firefighters have been tackling wildfires that Portugal's Prime Minister Luis Montenegro has said are raging across the country. And in sport, Nottingham Forest Ola Aino has been named in the Premier League Team of the Week, following his stellar performance in his team's shocking 1-0 victory over Liverpool at Anfield. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is the news broadcast compiled by Abiola Fagbolagun. I am Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.